The Pentagon had promised that the US would test a hypersonic weapon this year, and it's kept it. The flight test of a hypersonic missile has been carried out, launching it from the Pacific Missile Range facility in Kauai, Hawaii on March 19th at 10:30 p.m. local time. The test was deemed a success. According to a statement issued March 20th by the Department of the Defense, the Common-Hypersonic Glide Body, or C-HGB, launched and flew at hypersonic speed to a designated impact point. The test was a joint effort between the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Army. Mike White, the assistant director of the hypersonic program, said, "The glide body tested today is now ready for transition to Army and Navy weapon system developmental efforts. This is one of the most important developments of recent times when it comes to augmenting the offensive capability of the U.S. military." In this video, Defense Updates reports on the U.S. testing of Common-Hypersonic Glide Body hypersonic weapon. Let's get into the details. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. An object is said to be hypersonic once they exceed speeds of Mach 5, or 5 times the speed of sound. This is about 1,715 meters per second, or 3,836 miles per hour, or 6,174 kilometers per hour. The reason to develop and deploy hypersonic weapons is these weapons would be almost invulnerable to current defense systems that are designed to handle subsonic and supersonic weapons. The immense speed of hypersonic weapons makes the current air defense system useless. There's another aspect. The speed will provide the hypersonic weapons with huge kinetic energy, since it's proportional to the square of velocity. This basically means having a speed of Mach 5 will have 25 times the kinetic energy of a missile which had a speed of Mach 1. The kinetic energy will alone be enough to decimate most targets without being dependent on the explosive power of the warhead. It's to be noted that America's Government Accountability Office (GAO) report has stated that the U.S. currently lacks the defenses required to protect against the latest crop of hypersonic weapons being developed by China and Russia. The report states, "China and Russia are pursuing hypersonic weapons because their speed, altitude, and maneuverability may defeat most missile defense systems, and they may be used to improve long-range conventional and nuclear strike capabilities. There are no existing countermeasures." Viewers can go through the report from the link given in the description section below. There are currently 3 methods being applied to make hypersonic weapons. The first is a scramjet engine. The scramjet is an innovation on the ramjet. Ramjet engine can power flight to supersonic speeds, but scramjet can enable the missiles to reach hypersonic speeds. The scramjet engine can power a hypersonic cruise missile. The second is through the use of ALBM, or air-launched ballistic missile. As the name suggests, this kind of missile is ballistic in nature, but is launched from the air, unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which are launched from the land or sea-based platforms. The third is using HGV, or Hypersonic Glide Vehicle. In this method, the system is launched to extremely high altitudes using ballistic missile or an aircraft where it skips across the Earth's upper atmosphere. The vehicle then separates from the carrier and glides back to the Earth towards its intended target, attaining hypersonic speed. C-HGB will use this approach. The U.S. Department of Defense has been developing the C-HGB so that it will serve as the base of its offensive hypersonic missile. Each service of the U.S. military will use the C-HGB as the base while developing individual weapon systems, such as launchers capable of firing the weapons from land or sea. The C-HGB will have a warhead, guidance system, as well as thermal protection shield. Viewers may note that hypersonic weapons development is one of the U.S. DoD's highest development priorities, and it's trying to field a hypersonic weapon in the early to mid-2020s. Vice Admiral Johnny Wolf, the Navy's Director of Strategic Systems Programs, whose team is leading the design of the C-HGB, stated, "This test builds on the success we had with Flight Experiment 1 in October 2017, in which our C-HGB achieved sustained hypersonic glide at our target distances." He added, "In this test, we put additional stresses on the system, and it was able to handle them all due to the phenomenal expertise of our top-notch team of individuals from across government, industry, and academia. Today, we validated our design and are now ready to move to the next phase towards fielding a hypersonic strike capability." The joint effort will see U.S. Navy lead the C-HGB's design and development, and the U.S. Army lead its production and deployment. It's important to note that hypersonic weapons development and production is an effort that will have to be started almost from scratch, since there is currently no industrial base to produce required components. The release statement also noted that the MDA, or Missile Defense Agency, monitored the test and gathered tracking data. It's noted that MDA has taken up the development and design of an interceptor that knock out hypersonic weapons of rivals. One such effort is the Regional Glide Phase Weapon System, which is a concept for an interceptor against a hypersonic glide vehicle. To know more on that, please check the video in the above card. After decades of development, hypersonic weapons are coming to the forefront. Russia in late 2019 claimed that it deployed its first nuclear-capable hypersonic boost glide vehicle named Avangard. It's a surface-to-surface hypersonic weapon that has possibly made Russia the first country to field an operational hypersonic weapon. President Vladimir Putin stated that it puts his country in a class of its own. He described the Avangard, which can fly at 27 times the speed of sound, as a technological breakthrough comparable to the 1957 Soviet launch of the first satellite. Russia has also stated that it has deployed a hypersonic air-launched ballistic missile named Kinzhal, meaning dagger. It reportedly has a range of approximately 1,250 miles or 2,000 kilometers and a top speed of more than 10 times the speed of sound, in other words Mach 10. It's capable of carrying a nuclear warhead. China is also investing significantly in hypersonic weapons development, though its efforts are not as mature as the Russians. China has shown off mock-ups of its road-mobile DF-17 as part of the October 2019 celebrations commemorating the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. U.S. military has been criticized for falling behind Russia and China when it comes to hypersonic weapons. It's now getting its act together and is accelerating the efforts. The three services of the U.S. military are targeting a very aggressive timeline. The U.S. Army wants a mobile land-based capability fielded around 2023. The U.S. Navy wants its ship launch capability fielded in 2023, followed by a submarine-launched missile in 2024. And the U.S. Air Force is looking to field its air-launched version in 2022. It remains to be seen how things pan out in the coming days. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.